Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Alliance's Performance Shop, Lone Star, Mopars.com. Got a little change of scenery here for you, and this isn't quite working out quite like I thought it would. Namely, the tripod is a little vertically challenged right now, so instead of looking kind of down, you're almost parallel, and I haven't bothered to frame anything out, but we'll see what we've got going on. Also not sure if we should have lights or not. Where we left off with this, kind of set this thing up where I've got full manual control. If I could do that. Maybe we run with it, see if it kills off or not. And what I've got going on, something about the Icon that I think a lot of people are oblivious to. They, I think, make the assumption that this and the back are kind of the same, and what I mean by that is stainless. If we, okay, let's just roll with it this way, all right? This is going to be a little tool haul here. We've kind of done something similar with the US General Mastertech and orange accessories, but this is Bludicrous, right? This is pretty much every blue magnetic US General accessory I could get and wanted that was on sale. And they had a sale this past weekend. It expired. I think it was 20% off. Basically, the majority of these things were, oh, they're reasonably priced anyway, 15 bucks. I think we got them for 12. Not a huge deal, but it's a deal. And when you're buying this many of them, you know, you like save 3 bucks 4 times and you have one whole item for free, right? So that's kind of where I stand with it. But you also had a deal going where if you went in the store, you got a free item, and the free item I picked is the coveted blue LED. I've got tons of these things. Haven't even checked to make sure it works, and it does. So we're home free. I have a couple of these just like right by the door if the power goes out, like convenient spots, because again, you can get them for free. The downside with these, or upside, depending on your stance, is they're AAA powered. But again, this is the freebie. It's got a magnet. It's got a hook. The reason I started with it, aside from being free, it's got a magnet. You're thinking like, okay, well, genius, you know, the stainless top's not going to be magnetic, or very magnetic at least. Now, if we pan all the way back here, all right, I want you to look at that. Now, I know it wasn't the strongest magnet in the world, but it's, hopefully you can tell there's some space here, right? If I take it out of frame, where is it, you say? Well, it's, again, that's out of frame. So bring it down to happy medium. You can clearly tell it's up. You think like, okay, well, you just hooked it to the slot wall, right? No, it's magnetic. And you're like, that can't be magnetic. It's stainless. Look at it. Again, not magnetic, and magnetic behind us. Like I said, I have a lot of plans for like using the Hutch for storage of frequently used items, and also items that just store best vertically and you never have a drawer that's, you know, 12 inches deep to put them in, type of a thing. So think T-handle stands, screwdriver stands. Lord knows we have a lot of those. Maybe quick grab, you know, cordless tools, that type of a thing. You have a lot of real estate, on the surface of this thing, 73 inches long, 25 deep, and then on the back wall. If I can basically take things that would be on the surface being cluttered and stacked up and move them vertically, we've done a very good thing, right? And so, sadly, Harbor Freight doesn't really have a lot of accessories available for this slot wall. I haven't thoroughly researched it. I kind of want to say it's the same as the US General Series 3 pattern. Don't hold me to that. Again, I think I'm someone that probably should just break down and buy a 3D printer, because I have a lot of ideas and I don't know of anywhere to make them a reality. But the stuff you get with the Icon, it's there, but it's kind of limited. And we're probably going to cover that in a coming video. But what I want to do now is kind of go down the line with what we did now. Something that was not, you know what, let's start here. So, sticking with our theme, which I promise you it's blue, but this is the US General magnetic hook. These are extremely handy. As you know, we've got Skittles all across the shop. I'm not sure if they're making a purple one yet. That's my only thing. I thought I'd done something fantastic. I was like, wait, do they have purple? They have all the purple stuff at the store I was in, like in a purple Master Tech, and so it's like out of the way from everything else, and works great for the purple people. But if you're over here trying to run in a hurry, grab everything and check out, you might miss out. So this thing though I use for all sorts of stuff: extension cords, airlines. There's a lot of other crazy things, the chains on the gantry, you name it, we've been there, done it. And of course there's a ton of them, as you can see here. You got to taste the rainbow, right, with all the Skittles. And while that was not in the $14.99 to $11.99 tier with a discount, I did grab this. If you know anything, you know the yellow ones are kind of hard to find. I guess they're just not as in demand, or maybe there's like sunshine happy people that grab them all the time and they like go in the daytime because they're retired. I don't know, but it's been very hard to find these things locally, and I got one, and I was also curious how it would look with the blue, right? So again, right here, these are very strong. You can see their own bragging right, 25-pound pull force. If you're familiar with these, they pull. They've got some power to them. They're not doing jack here, but unlike the cheap weak magnet on the Freelite, listen to this thing, okay? You should have a thud here in a second. Yeah, that's kind of awkward with the tripod, but trust me, magnetic. So we picked one of those up. The next thing we're going to go to will be the most expensive item. You can probably guess what it is. And these are fantastic. I've never had any issues with them, and I've got quite a few. It's this guy right here. Again, maybe this was a terrible idea, moving locations, but there's your item number. It is the 5-outlet heavy-duty power strip with the 2 USB ports. We've gone over the specs. We've unboxed these before. They're stupid useful, especially being magnetic. They look good, in my opinion, for a power strip. The thing that happened, as you know, from the light video, we've got one over there, and a lot of the outlets are occluded, which sucks, but it is what it is. The thing that really sucks, you may not be aware of, that was not new. I robbed that from somewhere in the shop. That somewhere in the shop was a blue US General over by the door, and I left the one closest to the door, but I've got two 44s basically side by side there. The inboard side one, I actually used a ton. I had all my battery chargers plugged in there. I was always going to put them in the Husky, and I never did. And part of the reason is it's kind of just convenient. I walk in with a dead battery or a battery I want to charge when I come out here. I throw it on the charger, and it kind of idiot-proofs it, because as I walk out the shop, I'm like, oh, battery. And if I don't catch it then, when I turn the lights out, I've got all these stupid blinking LEDs and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, idiot, you got to get your batteries or unplug it or something, right? So that's where this one's going to go, unless we decide to do something different, which would involve putting this in a locker. Again, the lockers, if you missed the initial, toolbox reveal, that's truly what sold. Like, I don't just say that to be weird or different. Like, I mean, that sold me on this whole shebang. I do have a vision in my head, and I don't know which iteration I'm going to like better, but one of them does in fact involve turning portion of the locker into kind of like a charging station. So we shall see. Regardless, I'm either going to replace the one that I robbed or stick this over there, wait for a sale. These do frequently go on sale on their own, so that's a good thing. If you like the power strips, you're trying one out. But one of those two locations will be getting a power strip, so very cool on that front. Coming up next, we've got what's possibly the most used, I guess if you want to consider that, US General magnetic accessory, at least for me. And it is right here. It is the item number 56454. Unfortunate ending number. Could have been so cool. 440, 426, 493, 512, 505, 500, 540, 572. But yeah, it's what it is. But it's just the magnetic paper towel holder. Obviously, if you got like freak thing, you want to put pig mat on this, like a really long roll of pig mat, you can do that. Ask me how I know. Similarly, I just use 100% being straight up honest with you, the Blue Scott shop towels, right? Love the things, buy them in bulk, and I've got them hanging all over the place. They're on the back of the Master Tech, they're on actually the door to the shop, as weird as that seems. I've got some like Fast Orange or Gojo over there. I think it's Fast Orange actually. It's a cherry one, so I get confused because we got the Gojo at work. Interestingly, I usually wind up using the wipe, the lemon wipe. You got the cherry. It gets confusing. There's too many fruits in everybody's business. But it actually works really well, as dumb as that sounds, having a magnetic paper towel holder on the door, like the literal personnel door. It just works really well. I'm always working over there on that surface, and then again, going out, if I've got crud on my hands, I can wipe it off. Somebody comes over, meet them at the door, wipe my hands. It's a great system for me. What I think would be really good for me as well in this hutch is to hang the paper towels. Whatever I'm doing here, again, cleaning my hands before touching something important from the interior. If it's just laying one down to try and keep from scuffing this thing, which seems like that's going to be very difficult to do. Or if it's just like throw it down and, put a carb on it and just spray bomb some crud and let that be my little moisture barrier. It seems like a great location to plug in another one of these. These are adjustable, so it's not like a one-piece deal. You've got like literally A and B. So if you got a tiny dinky roll like toilet paper, well, hey, who am I to judge? You can make that happen. If you've got a regular shop size roll, maybe just got bounty stuff. Maybe you're like putting this above a kitchen where you like gut fish. I don't know what people are doing, Or like I said, if you got like a huge, like 2-foot roll, you could put like stretch wrap off this, packing paper. Sky is the limit, and again, it has a very strong pull. So that's what we have here. Next up, let's go with probably my favorite one. I guess if you had to label a favorite, it's going to be 56450. It's the spray can and screwdriver holder. This is a fantastic combination. Brake clean WD-40 barrel steel screwdriver. You cannot go wrong with this one. And again, it's very, very useful. The thing I love about it, there's so many places where two of these side by side fit perfect. Like it was designed for it perfect. Not sure what the Icon's gonna bring our way, but hey, it is an option. And again, they just work. They hold what I want them to. I have no complaints. And again, I do realize that's like terrible lighting there, unfortunately. This next one is, I think, kind of underrated. I really do. 56446. It is the 12-inch hanging tray with screwdriver holder. So yes, more screwdrivers, but also let's say that you are constantly, we'll just say you got a new box like we did, right? And you're moving everything and you're setting up your socket boss and you've got all the pegs. Where are you going to put them? Because you got your work surface, your sockets are strung out everywhere. You throw them in this tray on the back hutch, on the side. Lots and lots of options. Again, quick reach stuff that's just awkward. It could come down to fasteners. Weird things you don't really want to put inside the can holder, which could be frequently used things. Electrical tape, harness tape. Convoluted tubing, cable ties, just all kinds of options with this one. And again, kind of holding myself back to one till I kind of figure out what we like. And this is something that I've never bought. You're thinking like, oh, what's new? And it's like, it's not new. It's just I've never bought it. And it's right here. It is 56460. It's the glove/tissue dispenser. I don't know that I've ever seen someone have tissue or clinics or whatever you want to call it in here, but as you should know, I'm a huge fan of Alpha gloves, right? Discount code Lone Star, save you 20%. I don't see jack from that, just help you get a better price on gloves. I hate latex, nitrile, all of them. Like, I don't like them. I don't like wearing them. They make my hands sweat. I think that's the biggest thing. Number one, they always tear, which defeats the purpose. But number two, if you buy thicker ones that are less likely to tear, what happens? Like they squeeze down and cinch down on my hand and annoy me, and then I just get really, really, really hot. And you sweat and it sucks. I will say, with that aside, if I paint with these, it sucks because you ruin them faster, right? With these, they're disposable. If they get covered in paint, who cares? You know, they kept it off your hands. They did their job. If I'm doing something nasty, you know, like prepping something, I'm throwing down all kinds of, you know, contact adhesive or cement or whatever it might be. Maybe I put them on. It's crud that's like acidic and it's going to eat my skin. Okay, talk me into it. You know, save the good gloves. But I'm not one of those people that lives in these. I hate them. I still don't enjoy wearing them, and a lot of times I paint without the gloves. So it is what it is. But I've literally, go back to the Orange You Glad, watch that video. Never had them. Never picked this one up. I had that as a disclaimer in there if I'm not mistaken. But alas, we've done it, and we picked one up. I thought it kind of made sense. I've got some other stuff I'm sort of getting into, and I thought, you know, the hutch might not be a bad space to store some of that, and we're going to give it a go. If I hate the looks of it, because I do think, like, all these others are kind of cool. You can make them cool. This one's kind of, like, dorky. And I judge my own space, you know. It's like, is it aesthetically pleasing? Tray with screwdrivers? Yep. Can holder? Absolutely. Brake clean, WD-40, ballastal. You know, again, anti-seize. It's perfect. This... not as cool. It just is what it is. So, now, full disclaimer, as I got to the checkout, I was pretty disappointed in myself, but kind of also not really, because I forgot something, and this is what I forgot. And no, this is not something I ran back and bought. This is one I robbed from the little cart over there. I kept, like, some really, really trashy tools in there, and there's stuff that came with, like, grinders and whatnot, but these are not the $14.99. They're like $5, which is great. But they just don't keep these with the rest of the magnetic accessories. They're like an aisle or two back. I guess it depends on the layout at your local store. I assume they're all fairly similar. But I did want to showcase it because it is available. And then the other thing that I didn't grab, in part, I wasn't sure if I would use it or not, is this guy. And yes, it is the cup/can holder. And I'm not going to lie, like, I don't know if the lighting is going to cooperate here at all. We may not film here much, but if you note on this, there's like this ring of dust, and that's because this always, which I do use this, it's got glass cleaner. It's literally a giant thing of glass cleaner because I use glass cleaner on everything. And it sits, again, you guessed it, right by the door. On the side of the US General, where there's a power strip and there's paper towels on the personnel door. So I do actually get good use out of it. I was just sitting here and I was thinking, like, I don't know, you know, do I want that here, or would I just not rather buy maybe another spray can and screwdriver holder? So fence is out on verdict is out on this one. Same thing here. I've got the Mopar trays up. We got lots of these things, but they are here. They are US General accessories, and they are blue, so I figured we should showcase them. But that is pretty much it, as best I can recall, to the best of my knowledge. That's like everything blue in a US General magnetic accessory. So, to recap it, least exciting, most dorky of the bunch, probably the most used for the vast majority of people, going to be the glove holder. Super useful, may not be everyone's cup of tea. Going to be the power strip. Probably my personal favorite right there, the spray can holder. Great utility. And that guy. Back there, the magnetic paper towel holder. Huge fan of that. And then, of course, we've got the parts tray and the can holder. Of course, honorable mention here is going to go to this guy. So picture it, if you will, like, let's say that you've got like a charger for a light, but it lasts forever, and you got a long cord on it. You could use that to hold the cord up here. You know, there's all kinds of things you can do. In this hutch, I've got some pretty good ideas for like frequently used big items, you know, that you kind of need a place. You don't really want them in a drawer taking up space, but you've got dead space maybe. You'll see. We'll get to it at some point in time, but I'm not going to have a final setup to show you, but I guess we just as well open these things and kind of throw them on the wall and see what we've got to work with. So that's what I'll do. It's pretty simple to open all of these, except, ironically, for the cheapest item. Go figure. But the rest of them, I mean, they're like true one-hand cell phone holding YouTube sensations can pull this off quite easily. So, but again, this one we're gonna have to use the Cutix, which luckily it's here. Every time I'm at the bench, I'm like, "Where's the Cutix?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's over there." Which we have plenty of those things. I need to just reallocate one, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. We're gonna open these things up, do a quick little mock-up for you, just give you an idea. And again, I am curious. It doesn't have to be. I assume the US General is magnetic. I haven't played around with it. But the Icon is. And again, I don't know if people realize that. Because again, I think the natural assumption is, ooh, stainless. Stainless. And everyone's like, oh, it's not magnetic. And then it's like, it totally is, though. So, what, if anything, are you doing with the slot wall? The slots, it's not slots and dots, it's not pegboard dots, which would have way more accessories that are way cheaper. You'd have to kind of get something made for this or make it yourself. I'm not Mr. Sheet Metal. I guess we could probably pull it off. Probably through trial and error, and eventually we'd have something we could be happy with, right? But, I'm kind of curious, like, what are you doing? If anything, are you just like, nope, that's a work area, I don't have anything back there? Or, man, I've got so much crud on my wall, you wouldn't believe it. Because again, you know, like, you see the tours, and it's kind of like dead space, and I don't know if people just love the aesthetic of it, or they're just oblivious to the fact it's magnetic, or they're like, man, you know, I would like to do stuff back here, but the Icon accessories is all I can find that fits that pattern. So it will be interesting to see what you are doing. But again, just real quick, we'll do a rough mock-up of this thing, and we will call it good. All right, so how did that pan out? Again, this is just kind of a rough theoretical you could mock-up type of a thing, but makes sense to me. If we did have another power strip in here, we would have it over in this vicinity. Man, that is just terrible lighting. I mean, great lighting for me, terrible lighting for you. But yeah, if we had our chargers over here, something quick grab, a monitor, it could be as simple as a cell phone charger, radio, that type of thing. That seems like a great location given what we did on the other side with that power strip. Paper towels, makes sense. You have access here. Note that toolbox is there for reference, like you're getting stacked feature sets here, but you still have space on the ground level of the box, if that makes sense, right? Sort of first story, second story, upper level type of a thing. Those are sort of awkward and cumbersome. Do with it what you will, but that kind of shows you what you could do. By the way, those gloves are not good in my opinion. They do not fit well. Coming in next, again, strictly a mock-up deal. Got the US General parts tray up there. You picture some hardware splashed in. The hook just holding a loose cord. Right here again, chip lifters, pry bars, scrapers, whatever you want. 3 slots on each side here. Miscellaneous small things that wouldn't really fit well in the big can holders. So gasket cinch, little mini things of ballast, little wipes, picture all that. I've got a Cutix leaned up in there. We've got a little magnet. You might have a retrieval tool. If you've got it here, it's easier to see. Tape measure that you can hang off the front for increased storage, some markers and whatnot. Threw in a small, I actually really like the length of this thing, but threw in a small pry bar. That one actually, I was trying to show you, has done quite a ridiculous amount of work for me. So super easy, fits there, quick grab. Picture like a straight one, maybe like just pop calipers off or something. Need a straight pry bar, little short 8-10 inch stuff will fit real easy. Can holder, again, probably my favorite. You get business in the front, party in the back. So we got brake clean WD-40, can't go wrong there. Note, for your viewing enjoyment, I thought the gray, that's the anti-cam out from the Weehaw Pro Turns. Those are the old phased out handles, which is a shame because they're fantastic. So I came in here, threw those down. That's very first KC tool haul. Not necessarily these 5. These were like super cheap clearance pickups, but that was such a great handle. Anyway, brake clean WD-40, and then like I said, that thing literally lives with that glass cleaner over there. You can see it's got the dust signature on the cap and the can top to match the dust signature on the thing. So that's pretty much it in a different location. And then again, you've got all this other real estate on the sides. Power bar, light strip control, magnetic parts tray, magnets, rock, you name it. Like, this is great because look at the space you're able to utilize. So in theory, let's say that you store brake clean WD-40, Ballastal, and Anise. Get 2 of those, put them side by side, you've got yourself covered. The cool thing, Anise, I've got some all strung out and across the shop, so I'm not going to go get it, but right here, you'd have like this height profile. If, say, you used gasket cinch or contact cement or hobby or even just like mini cans of something, and you didn't have to have that height profile, instead of having 2 of these side by side, you could stack them with your shorter profile stuff up top, right? Or you could have that down low to the ground and this still easy to come off. Again, these are both very large cans. They're not like your average size, slightly bigger. I mean, that's a 19 ouncer over there, but you get the idea. Like, you've got lots of options across the board here. So, what we'll probably segue into, I literally have not played with the Icon accessories. They're all still boxed up. So I'll get those out in the next video. We'll kind of mock them up, show you what layouts you could do here. The interesting thing, again, they're not sold in the store, which, I guess doesn't really make a lot of sense since US General people, I think, have the same pattern. It would also make sense to have the US General colorway. I mean, yeah, is the US General blue the exact Icon blue? No, but it's stupid close, and with something like this, you're not really going to care, right? It's the utility and the low price of it. Icon branded, US General branded, I don't really think it matters. But it would be super cool if they would kind of add some of those slots, slot wall features that they've got in store for that customer. Just kind of have it maybe even in the display boxes. Your big US General, your big Icon, and people go there and grab them. That way it's like, hey, sir, and they check out, like, that's not magnetic, that's for the slot wall. It's like, oh, geez, had no idea. And they put it back, grab something else. Or it's like, well, do you have the US General or the Icon where that'll slot in? They're like, oh, yeah, I just need this other shelf, and it's like, great. Lots of endless options with it. And again, this stuff is stupid cheap and affordable. I've had this stuff now for several years, again, all over the shop. The orange US General, it's still loaded down pretty much the same way you saw it. I do have 2 of these side by side, works perfect. Power strips are all over the place. Again, that's the only thing that's new to me. That's the only gloves I have. I actually have some somewhere in a bag. I think they're in the cabinet, ironically, that I can't get to without wheeling a locker out, but it fits. You could run into a situation, maybe your ideal glove, or you buy them in like a huge pack, doesn't fit, but I'd say the vast majority you're home free. And yeah, again, just a rough idea of what you can do. And again, we still have the space here. If that's all you wanted on your wall, slide it up, get more space here. Again, picture things like top of my Husky, right? T-handles and vertical holders. So many options. And again, this is by no means final here. This is just literally for, hey, look what you could do. I do kind of think I'm going to do the paper towels there because I don't want them as a centerpiece. This goes back to, personal preference. That's cool and useful over there, but in the middle, you take away, like, this could be your visual pop, right? I've got something planned there. It's a pretty sweet little sign, and hopefully I can make it function there. But more to come. We'll kind of be working on this off and on as we can. Little spurts of 45 minutes I get here and there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. And again, getting all this stuff, I think 20% off. The lady did do something weird. She made me do 2 transactions. One of these, maybe the shelf was on a current promo and you couldn't stack the deal, and for whatever reason, instead of just checking me out, she made it a total standalone. I don't know. I just know everything was on sale one way or the other. I'm happy. And, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, if anyone has the US General Series 3 with a Hutch, feel free to confirm, like, hey, it's the exact same pattern as the Icon, yada yada. Oh, it's totally different. Similarly, if you found, like, go to sheetmetalman.com and he's got tons of stuff he's made for these. tell people, because again, the end goal is just to help folks, believe it or not, and that's without an affiliate link. I don't throw anything out there. I don't make money. This is what I'm doing, what interests me at this point in time, and it might help somebody else out. So I still haven't gotten to open the beautiful blue new toolbox either. But, yeah, just a rough idea, and like I said, Icon stuff will come out next. We'll intermingle it. Where I was going with that is it's weird because the box and the hutch come with stuff, and then the lockers do. Hopefully I can remember what came with what, because I'll go to the website, I guess, when I do that and make sure I'm not like telling you wrong. But very interesting stuff, and we'll try some of it out, see how we like to pair it and everything. But this gives you an idea of what you could do. Again, if you want a complementary color, orange, green, you can do it. That's the beauty of the US General stuff. Black if you want to be super clean. If you want to color code stuff like, okay, hey, this blue is my Phillips drivers, and green I have in Torx, and red is SA, you could totally do that too, and just line your wall with that. If you work at a dealership, you probably got like shop chemicals. You might use some more than the others. If you're sitting here, like, you might be detailing cars as a side hustle, picture some of your favorite products if they nest there. Detailing products can be hit and miss depending on what kind of volume you buy, but that's another story for another day. This is pretty cool, and I've got to go eat supper, work out, and wake up to start another new day so I can purchase things on sale and try to make life a little bit more enjoyable and organized. So again, rough idea. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, what you would do, what you recommend. If you 3D print your own stuff, which I feel like that's my ultimate destiny, I would save so much money, as opposed to just like conveying what I want, all that jazz. If like, hey, there's people 3D printing this, oh yeah, you could totally line up those slots and it'd be super strong, add some magnets. Some of you may know that stuff. Tell people. Because again, it's a shame to have the cool slot wall but not be able to like utilize it, right? Whereas this was pegboard, you could walk in anywhere. Like, you could run to your grandparents' house and pull some hooks down that you could use, right? Again, think of that, like just typical pegboard. Wrench, 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 wrench. Right? The hooks for your air tools or heavy stuff or specialty stuff that you actually use frequent enough to keep it here, but you need it up out of the way. So many options. And again, if you've got a hutch, you didn't pick the box that could store a ton of tools, so make use of the space, right? Make it look cool, make it functional, something, combination of the two perhaps. But that's all I got. It's getting humid in this place. I'm gonna head inside. Do hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a little something, maybe got some ideas. You're like, oh, that thing's magnetic, who knew, but I'm sure in the video no one's gonna admit that. But hey, like I said, I consume a lot of toolbox tours, and I'm always like, man, how come nobody does stuff with that? And I assume it's the slot wall is the impediment, right? But yeah, I will leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to do so. By the way, there's our free light. Can't go wrong there, right? In the event the expensive one burns out, we've got the freebie to get us by. Yeah. Hadn't subscribed, I encourage you to do that. If we ever make it to 10K, I've got 2-year-old Snap-on videos that are just been waiting to be released, and they're backlogged and holding up the channel a little bit. So I would appreciate the subscription if you enjoy what you've seen here over the time, or if you simply want to see what crazy stuff we'll come up with, or 3D printing, and yeah, this guy, you might come up with some stuff I could rip off. It's that simple. If you subscribe, ring the bell, jump your charger across the creek. YouTube just might let you know I got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Most importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more from the shop. Alright, this is bonus content and it's for future video use. I do have taller tripods that I did car stuff with. I don't have them out here in the shop handily available, but light or no light, let me know. Again, right here is a little deceiving. I guess if we came up closer, keep in mind though, we had about this angle. I think it might just be the angle. But yeah, your feedback always appreciated. I'll try to make it happen accordingly. Maybe we just stick with the old workbench and the Mopar mat. For some videos over here, I think we will film just, if they're like specific to setting the box up or something. But let me know. Again, we can keep it dark, or we can have what you hopefully saw, the whole video. which again was with the LED light on. But let me know. We'll try to make it happen, and I'll catch you back for more. And there is one more thing I forgot for bonus content, if you're curious. Yeah. So, I think the yellow looks alright. Not going to say it's my favorite thing I could ever look at, but it's nice and complimentary. In the camera currently, that yellow is way brighter than it is in person. I am not a fan of that, but in person, the yellow is way more mellow. I think it looks pretty good. So, anyway, again, complimentary color, do with that what you will.